Welcome back, everyone. My name is Shannon Miller, and I am your host, and I am with my co-host, Jamie Runco. And most importantly, we're here with Miss Danelle Watts, who owns and runs a brand new entity, Robin's Helping Hand. And she's going to tell us about her story and how come she has a dual entity business model. And I'm excited to chat with her. Miss Danelle, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yay.
You are so welcome. I am so excited to have you here. Now, there is a little bit of a backstory on why you started what you're doing today. So, you have a regular cleaning company that you operate, and you also have a non-for-profit, correct?
Correct.
And you give away free cleanings in your community. So, can you share the story behind your mom and how she inspired what you've built?
Okay. So, Robin's Helping Hand is a not-for-profit organization that I founded to assist individuals and families um, with free cleanings, free basic cleanings, as well as care packages. I call them care essential bundles for families and individuals who are navigating illness, chronic illnesses, and disabilities. So, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer February of 2021. About a year prior to that, she was actually also diagnosed with muscular dystrophy,
Oh, wow.
not to be confused with MS. I learned MS and muscular dystrophy are two different things, but muscular dystrophy, from what I gathered, um, your muscles deteriorate, and there are a dozen different forms of it. And I think she was diagnosed with limb girdle muscular dystrophy. So the muscles breaking down in her lower limbs, her trunk area, her legs, her thighs, where she would had she still been with us, she'll be confined to a wheelchair. So I was her sole caregiver. I'm the oldest of three. I was her sole caregiver. So after her stint in the hospital from a completely different medical situation that she had, she spent all of November, December of 2019 in the hospital, and she came home January 2nd, 2020. So they released her to my care because she wasn't able to care for herself. She had to learn how to bathe, clothe, eat, like things that we take for granted. She had to learn all over again, essentially like a baby. So she was released into my care. At the time, I was a full-time employee at a financial institution here, and I actually started cleaning to cope with my mom's illness and her disease. So I would go to work 9 to 5, banking hours, and I would come home, care for her, and then I'll just clean, like bathroom, kitchen. And at the time, I had no children, so it was myself, my now husband, and my mom, and I would just come home and clean like a mad woman. And so I came up with the idea of just start a cleaning service. At first, I was apprehensive about it because I wasn't sure if people actually use cleaning services. I was ignorant to that. And finally, I started Neat and Tidy December of 2021. I did Neat and Tidy, which is my cleaning services, on the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, and I worked at the bank Monday through Friday. So I was a busy girl.
Yes,
You
you
were.
were.
I was a busy
Yes,
girl.
you were.
So I would work Monday through Friday at the bank. Saturday and Sunday, I would clean and still take care of my mom. Um, so that's how Neat and Tidy started. So fast forward, my mom passed March 16th of 2023. Um, we had our service, and while I was going through her things, cleaning her stuff out, I actually saw a flyer for Cleaning for a Reason,
Oh,
right?
Right, right, right.
good.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so I partnered Neat and Tidy with Cleaning for a Reason.
Good.
I still do it to this day. However, when I announced on my Facebook page that, hey, I'm partnered with Cleaning for a Reason, I had different people with different illnesses that wasn't cancer reaching out to me for those cleanings. At the time, I didn't think about it. I just like, well, at the time, this particular organization only caters to cancer patients. But I knew I wanted to give back in her honor. I just didn't know what or how,
Right.
right? So, you all are in Arizona, right?
I'm in Arizona. Jamie's in
I'm in
California.
California.
Okay.
Mhm.
So in the South, in January, we had this big winter storm. where everybody was, we don't do snow down here. We
Right.
don't do snow. We don't do ice. We don't do any of those things. So when that type of weather comes, everybody is in the house.
Mhm.
So one day I was on chat, and I know people are probably going to give me grief for that, but I was on Chat GPT and I put in nonprofit organization for cleaning service, and I just went through there. And I was on chat for like a week straight, gathering information on how to start a nonprofit, and it hit me. A nonprofit organization with cleaning, because you already, this is a field that you already know.
Right.
So it's nothing new, cleaning um homes, but instead of going strictly with cancer patients, let's 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 go out a little bit
Right.
more, because you do have cancer patients, but I also have an aunt that has lupus. So when I speak to her, some days or some weeks are better than others, and she
Right.
can't do anything. So I open it up for more than just cancer patients, just anybody with a chronic illness or a disability. Because again, had my mom still been here, she would have been battling muscular dystrophy and probably be confined to a wheelchair by now. So that's basically the makings and foundations of cleaning for
Robin's Helping Hands.
Robin's Helping Hand, and the start of Neat and Tidy, my for-profit cleaning business.
Very cool. That is a very heartfelt story. So first of all, air hugs.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that your mom passed away. That's just it's hard. It's hard. And you're doing some good work there. And in those early days when you were just getting started, what do those look like? So I know that you and I were talking before we started to film, and you said that Robin's Helping Hand has been around roughly 30 days. Is that correct?
Maybe about
Maybe, but
30 days.
it's brand spanking new. It's a
It's
baby.
brand new.
And
Yes.
so what do you have, like an intake form? Can they go to your website? How do you qualify someone as being able to get a free cleaning?
So I do have a intake form. I have a link tree. I
Okay,
was trying to find different ways to make it accessible for everyone, because everybody's not on Facebook.
right.
So I decided to just um, build a link tree. Linktree has the intake form. Nothing too extravagant. You don't have to, you know, give blood or give me your firstborn or anything like that.
Just
No,
hurt your
just
I know. Some of those intake forms I know
oh,
with yeah, they can be a much.
I have no use for your toes, so I don't eat your toes. But it's just an intake form of basic information. You have the option of checking the boxes is a chronic illness or disability or other. If you want to give me a little bit more information to explain what your illness or disability is, that's completely fine. You also have the option of if you would like a care essential bundle, which is my little household cleaning bundle, you get a roll of paper towels, some toilet tissue, dish soap, a sponge, disinfectant wipes, and there's another thing. Okay, I can't remember, but if you give me a minute, I'll think about it. It's 6% of items on there. But it's just my way of, okay, after we refresh and clean the environment, okay, here's a little care package for you to maintain um that order that we put in for you, to make sure that everything is can stay as clean as possible for you.
I love
Um
that.
so
That's a good
yeah,
that would be
it's an
great.
intake
Yeah.
form, and yeah, and they get to talk to me.
I know. That's so awesome. I would be also great whenever you could go to, like, maybe partner with the hospitals around in your area or something like that. Yeah, I can definitely see this really taking off for you. That's awesome.
That's
What a
awesome.
inspiring story. That's great.
And you said you
Thank
had a
you.
couple of extra packages. Is that the only one that you have right now, or is it it's free cleaning and the package, or is there other offerings that you have?
At the moment, that's the only offering that I have
Okay, that's
for the not for
great.
profit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
And
one
then
cleaning? I'm sorry, Shannon.
no, you're totally
They get one cleaning?
Yes, they get one
Yep.
cleaning, one basic cleaning, and speaking to just different people and listening to you all as well as other cleaners, you have to be specific with the cleaning. So I started putting basic because even when I'm with my cleaning for a reason patients, I get asked to do some deep cleaning stuff, and it's like, I don't have time for that.
Right.
But I'll do it for you. I'll do it
Yeah,
for you
yeah.
because you actually get two cleaners with cleaning for a reason. But with me, it's like, okay, yeah, you have to do basic because when I get in tunnel vision, when I start cleaning,
Yep.
I do everything.
I know, you just get to go,
I
huh?
would do. I'll just get to going. So basic cleanings, of course, we want to make sure the kitchen is up to par and clean. The bathroom is clean, as well as whatever living area or main space that they like to be in, get that clean for them.
Good, I love that. I love that how you structured it, made sure there was boundaries put in there, and it's all for the good of everything. I really like this story.
I think it's awesome.
Thank you,
So
Jamie.
On the neat and tidy part of your business, do you just do regular maintenance? Do you specialize in move out cleanings? What are you doing with neat and tidy?
So neat and tidy is primarily deep cleanings and maintenance cleanings.
Okay.
Um, I personally don't require you to do a deep cleaning for my service. You can go with a basic cleaning. You just understood or understand that, you won't get certain things or it'll be certain aspects of the service that won't apply.
like, what hand washing the baseboards and stuff like that. Right, I
Right.
got
So if you have a basic cleaning, you're not getting baseboards done. You're
you.
not getting your refrigerator out.
You
You're
mean you're
not
not
getting your
fixing my
oven.
oven?
Absolutely not. Well, for a known fee, if there's something that you want, we can add that on, but you have to let me know ahead of time because of scheduling, right?
Right. It does take.
But right. So I have basic, I have deep cleanings. I do move ins and move outs, and that's basically it. That's the meat of it. Oh, and I do have one particular package I like to call the ultimate cleaning experience or housekeeper for a day, where from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm yours. You rented out a person for a day, basically.
Yeah.
And we get the deep cleaning done. If you want some organizing, and I have to limit to that. I've learned that limit to that because if you say organizing, you will be remodeling an entire home or entire room.
It's so true. It's so true.
Like, well, you said organizing. Well, I meant the kitchen pantry. I don't want to do two walking in closets
Right.
of clothes.
So
I will. It's gonna cost you, but you have
yeah,
to. I have to put a limit on those things like that. But yes, I
absolutely.
do have. Those are the three main packages. I call the
Okay.
tidy up. The tidy up is the basic. The neat and tidy is the deep cleaning, and the ultimate cleaning experience, which is housekeeper for a day, where you just rent me out for the day.
So, for a point of reference for the audience, what are you charging for housekeeper for a day? I always ask because I'm curious. There's different price points.
Okay, so I want to preface this to say this is for my area.
Yeah,
Right.
So everybody's areas is
sure
different,
is.
Hmm.
but for housekeeper of a day, that's $800.
Rock
Love it.
on.
Yep, that's great.
Yes. So I know some people, that's not a lot or that's too much, but it's for the area. So even with
Uh,
that, I'm having to look at the area of what everyone else is charging, whether they're charging too much, whether they're charging too low. But once I give the price and let them know, okay, this is what you get for that, 98% of the time they book and go for it. And some people, well, that's a little bit too much. Well, okay, well, I can do this for you, but it won't include this. So
Right.
I'll downgrade them to the neat and tidy. And for the most part, they go for it. So
so is it
I think
safe to say that, you no longer work for the bank?
oh yeah, the bank has been gone. So the funny story with that is, okay, it's kind of sad, but it's kind of funny as well. So my mom passed March 2023. So we got the diagnosis of her being terminal September of 2022. So my husband, I'm talking to him, and he said, "Well, I'm gonna say this. And at this time, he wasn't my husband. We didn't get married until September 2023. So at the time he's my fiance, he said, well, I'm going to tell you this. It looks like you're going to be putting in your notice um, earlier than expected because you need to leave the bank to take care of your mom. Because my plan was, okay, after we get married, I'll quit. So he was like, no, make this year your last year. Wrap up whatever it is you need to wrap up and put your notice in because your mom needs your undivided attention now. So it was New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2022 was my last day in corporate America.
Yay!
I love it.
I love it.
I love welcome to the cleaning industry, the
Yeah.
21st. I think it's
Wow.
Yeah.
fantastic.
So, January 2023 is whenever Neat and Tidy
Full time.
and right
Full
on.
time.
I absolutely love it.
And it was I don't say it was hard, but it was a little bit more difficult because again, I'm only at the time 2 days,
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. I know I could book Saturday and Sunday, but going in January 2023, I was like, okay, I got a whole 7 days, not include, well, I'll say 5 days because take time off for
Yeah.
myself. I had a whole week that I was scheduling and I got to,
Yeah,
I
I'm
got to
able
book people
for
now.
me to make some money here.
Got to make some money now. But fortunately, business has been good. Business has been great. I am a solo cleaner. I did have part-time cleaners, but we welcomed our baby girl last year. So for the
Oh,
year of 20,
congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
So for the year of 2025, I closed the entirely down. And that's another thing with customers. I think I have my customers spoiled because I was like, hey, going on maternity leave. So what does that mean? I'm not cleaning. You're gonna have to
Who's gonna clean my house?
Oh,
who's gonna
thank you.
have other people. Well, I just really don't. Okay, so I spoiled you all. So okay, so if you all are good for waiting a year, then okay. And everybody, when I tell you I have everybody back,
Wow.
once I sent out the messages, hey, I'm coming back. When's your next availability? Put me on the
I love it.
schedule. How much you need? It's like, okay, well, here it is. And I sent everybody their information, their invoices, and back on schedule.
I really
I
like
love it.
that. So not only are you a new wife, you also have a new child, and now you're running a neat and tidy business while taking care of your child and your husband. And you decided to go ahead with Robin's Helping Hands, your nonprofit.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps everywhere. I'm almost gonna cry. I don't even know why.
Please
Oh,
don't.
I just love that for you. That's great. And it gives a lot of our audience that are still solo cleaners, and there's nothing wrong with that. That this is a very inspiring story that you can come back and be better than ever. Congratulations.
I think it's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So, have you had any really big challenges in building your business? I mean, has there been anything unusual? I mean, obviously, closing down for a whole year, that was a pretty big
Yeah.
challenge. Like, a little nervous. I mean, I'm happy that they all waited for you. Is there anything else that was a big challenge?
That was for that segment, that was the biggest challenge because, okay, essentially giving up my customers for them to go somewhere else. And when I do decide to come back, they may not come back to me because I've been gone for a year. Um, so that weighed on me a lot during that time period. But before then, when I started starting out, it was getting the customers. Okay, am I going to be able to sustain this? Okay, you've done your research that you could do, you put yourself out there. So let's see who's going to book, who's going to accept you. So in the beginning, because I've always been a 9 to 5 girl. I've had if you were to ask the Danielle previously if she was going to own a business, let alone clean houses, for a living. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. Give me my regular
Right,
paycheck.
right.
Let me clock in, let somebody else be the boss, and just go on about my way. But that um getting the customers and going back to what I said previously, the lessons of boundaries. You can't do everything. Some people you will have to turn down for a number of reasons, whether it's beyond your scope, whether it's just too much of a house or it's too much of a task for you. So yeah, that pretty much sums up the beginnings of it. I'm still learning.
Oh, yeah.
I like to say I've bought a lot of lessons, meaning lost money for whatever reason.
I've been there.
Customer customer wasn't satisfied, or it just wasn't worth whatever it was that they were paying me at the time. Um, Breaking stuff. Just
Everything
a
that
whole
we've
variety of
all
that.
kind
Yeah,
of been through almost, with
yeah.
the exception of, hiring, learning how to hire, and maybe one day, maybe one day.
I'm still learning it. I'm still learning it. I'm still learning it. I really am. I would like to, now that, well, we have Robin's Helping Hand, um, trying to stretch myself between the for-profit and the nonprofit. Okay, well, if you're wanting to put more attention to the nonprofit to make sure it's on the up and go, yeah, you're going to have to hire. So that is something that's in the pipeline I'm working on as well. Even if I can get one or two helpers, because I have a set recurring schedule. So I don't need a big crew at the moment. And those cleaners that I do need more people, I do have um, contractors that I can reach out to and get them to assist me with those bigger cleanings.
Mm,
That's awesome.
that's where,
That's awesome.
collaboration really comes in
Yeah.
so nice. So
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So we talked a little bit about what your mission was and who you primarily serve.
hmm
And then do you when hypothetically, are you selecting everybody who comes through the funnel when they're applying for a free cleaning, or are you turning people away? Are there terms and conditions to that? Are you just taking them all in, giving them a big hug and saying, "There you go."
So once the intake form is in, they fill out the intake form. I give them a call and I get a little bit of information from them. I will go and do a walkthrough if it's hoarding situation, or a situation that needs remediation. There may be, for example, there's no ceiling,
Yeah.
Right.
or there's open wiring,
Right.
Right.
things of that nature. Unfortunately, it's beyond my scope. Um, we can get together and we can get some resources in for you that could be able to help you possibly. And if those things are taken care of, you're welcome to come back and resubmit a form, and we
Yep.
can go with a basic cleaning for the for what the nonprofit is for.
Exactly. Oh, I like
So
that.
have you had anybody want a second free cleaning?
So I've actually only done one. I've
Okay.
served my first home last week. Was it last week? It was about last week. You mentioned the hospitals. So I have reached out to cancer clinics throughout the city. Um,
Love it.
and one of the social workers, she's actually sent me my first home. So with speaking to her, thank you.
Yes. Congratu
Yeah,
Wow, this is great. Can I ask you um,
yeah.
what's do you live in a big metropolitan city?
I'm located in Memphis,
Oh, okay.
Tennessee.
Oh, wow, I used
Yeah.
to this is beside the I used to live in Covington. I was in Shelby County.
Oh,
I used to live in Shelby County.
you were that far from me then.
Yep. I went to school and everything there. High school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a country girl for real.
Yes, yes, through and through.
Yeah.
So, I love that. So you're connected to a social worker now, and it seems like you're
That'd be
learning how
great.
to more dabble in
Mm.
getting the connections. to
Mhm.
make those connections.
Yes. So as Shannon was asking me, so I actually served my first home. I sent the information to a couple of social workers, and she sent me my first home. And as I said, she did the intake form. Well, the social worker and they have the option if they can't do it themselves. I welcome loved ones or caregivers to fill out the form for them as well. But I do have to speak with the recipient to make sure they're okay with me coming, and to get information about what their home is like and what they're looking for. So with this particular home, I did not do a walkthrough. We scheduled a day, and I came out. Nice, and I for I guess for privacy purposes, I call her Miss Lady.
Mhm.
Miss Lady was very nice. She was very excited to speak with me. She said that was something that she truly needed and wanted to have done, was to have her home clean. Now I'm a little bit biased. When I walked in, I didn't see anything to clean. I'm gonna just be honest. I didn't see much of anything to clean. Um, she had
Yeah. Those are the
yeah,
hardest, aren't they?
she she had been in that home, I think she said for 50 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
she's been in that house for 50 years, and it was small. It was a small home, but I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do in
That's
here?
immaculate. Those are always
Like
so
what
hard to
like
clean. But then you
like
get
what am I
in it
doing?
and you're like, "Oh,
But
the dust."
the funny thing with her is she wanted to interview me.
Oh,
Now, me personally, on the business side, you booked me, you paid your money, there is no interview. But with her being 85, she's 85. Her birthday will be May 14th. She'll be 86. She's an older lady, so they have their ways of doing things,
they do. They're
right?
more distinguished.
So for 15 minutes, she interviewed me.
Yeah. Boy, you think that
Tell
you
me
have
about
all your
yourself.
boundaries, everything's crossed, and then you come up to the little cute old ladies, and it's like, "You got me. I gotta talk
I
to her."
want your
And then you get to talk.
I Yeah. I want your life story. Don't leave anything out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. But she is a cancer patient, and something that she wanted me to share with everybody. She has had cancer for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
That's
She said,
yeah.
you make sure you tell people when they're diagnosed with cancer is not a death sentence. I've had cancer for 25 years, and I was speechless. I was
Right,
like, there's 25.
Mhm.
That's over 2 decades, going on 3 decades
Sure.
right.
of battling cancer. But when I went in there, it's like, okay, I'm searching. It's like, you know what? Just pretend there's something to clean and just do what you would normally do. But afterward, also with neat and tidy, and I offer this with anybody that I clean with. I want you to do a walkthrough behind me because I'm not perfect. I'm human,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So I want them to go back and not only see what I've done, and if there's anything that they see that could be done differently or something that I missed, please tell me. Not only are you welcoming into your home for the profit side, for the for-profit side, you're paying for a service, but for the nonprofit side, you're welcoming into your home for a reason, which is to clean your home. So I want you to see what I've done and to make sure that you're satisfied. But my favorite thing, oh, it smells so good in here. It
Mhm.
feels so clean in here.
I love it.
It just
Like, well, thank you,
well,
Miss
it does,
Lady.
it fills. W Even if it is clean, it feels like it.
It, it feels like it.
Yeah, it does. So it's
So yeah, that's my first home. Hopefully after this air and we share and some other things that I have coming up, once the word gets out a little bit more, hopefully I have more homes to care for.
yeah,
Definitely. We should touch base 6 months
I
and
would
see where
love
you're
to
at.
follow along. I think a lot of our listeners would love to follow along too. Maybe we'll revisit this in 6, 7 months. I don't know. Sometime,
Yeah, maybe.
sometime.
Yeah.
I would love to see where this goes. I think this is a great thing that you're doing. Um,
Well, thank
So
you.
I have a question on the Robin's Helping Hand,
Mhm.
how are you gathering? You're just donating your time and efforts because it's just you right now, and you're not actively fundraising for that element yet. I know we were talking before we came on camera for that. So you're just donating your time and your energy for that right now, and then eventually you'll maybe, air quote, take on donations for helping the expense. I know some people do, some people don't. We've seen a lot of things on the internet, on Facebook,
Mhm.
that we were all just discussing about before we came on here. So is it, are you just, do you allocate a certain percentage of your gross? How are you deciding how many you're going to do?
So since I'm in pilot phase right now, currently, so let's just say, for example, homes do start coming in at a rapid a rate or whatnot. So I would probably do about 1 to 2 a week, because
Okay.
I still have my neat and tidy business that I have to cater to those customers, and I do have a home life that I have to care for as well. So maybe 1 to 2 homes a week, solo. I'm actually in the process of working with Volunteer Odyssey. It's a nonprofit here in Memphis that volunteers go through and sign up to become volunteers for different nonprofit organizations. I'm still working out the kinks of that because I'm dealing with personal homes, addresses, and background checks and things of that nature. So I'm in the process of working through that. So as far as the extra help that will come once I get that base taken care of. But as far as the products, I just set aside a certain amount a
Okay.
week for cleaning supplies and for the care package bundles, but I kind of essentially use the same cleaning supplies as I do for neat and tidy. It's just I just have a separate, I guess you want to call it like a little box or tote for those supplies, so I won't commingle my business supplies with the nonprofit supplies.
Oh, it sounds
And
so good and organized.
sometimes,
I think this is going to, uh I think this is really gonna be something. I think so. I'm really excited to see this. It really has my and I know if my mind is like, "Oh, that's a good idea." If my mind's doing that, I know our listeners' minds are sitting there like, "Oh." But to separate the 2, boy, I'm not organized enough for that. To over here we have this business, and over here we have this business. It's all
yeah,
that's
It
very
goes all
it's
together.
like you already have it down, your structure down already.
That
You're
that week that we were snowed or iced in, that was my priority to structure it, because as I said, once people come in, I don't want to just be looking and scratching my head trying to figure things out. No, before I bring people in, let me work through any of the kinks in it. So once I step away from the physical side of cleaning and having to step back, okay, it can go on without me being in the field and without me having to figure out those type of things. And I think personally I'm kind of like that.
yeah.
definitely.
Robin's helping hands nationwide, just like another
I
cleaning for a reason.
said,
I really could see that.
I love it.
There's no limit to that.
I think Debbie ended up selling it to the ISSA. She stepped down
Hmm.
Yeah,
as
she did.
and then gave it to the S they either sold it or gave it, I don't remember. But yeah,
Hmm.
I think it's absolutely off. I can't even talk. Awesome. Everything is awesome. So, yeah, I can imagine at some point there'll be some sort of balancing that happens between the two businesses. As I mean, it's relatively new, so there probably or maybe has been a hard part for balancing both of those businesses. Or right now they probably just are cohesive and they just run together, right?
Right now, I don't see myself having any difficulties per se. I will say for both sides, it's just the people aspect. And I know is probably it sounds bad as it is not as bad as it sounds, but it's just making sure we were talking earlier, as far as board members, because nonprofit organization, I have to have a board, right?
Right.
And I just want to make sure that everyone's intentions are pure and it aligns with the mission and not det- detour from what the mission is to make sure that those vulnerable populations have clean environment and clean spaces to live in. So if
Right.
that's the mission, I prefer not to have board members that want to sway away from that
Right.
or hijack it and make it into something that it's not.
Has to
So
align.
that's something, yeah, that's a worry that I have. I'm going to be honest with you, but as long as I can vouch and screen my potential board members or anyone that wants to be a part of Robin's Helping Hand, I think I'll be good. I'm not in a rush because again, I'm still in the pilot phase. I'm still building, and I don't want to bring people in, and I'm still what they say creating the foundation of the home because Robin's Helping Hand is considered a home, right?
Yeah.
So I
Right.
want to make sure the foundations is laid and it's good and it's strong and it's structured before bringing in other people and I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm not completely done with what it is that I'm supposed to be doing to make sure that it's sound and structured. So for both sides with that, it's the people aspect of it with that. And the entirety, for a minute, I was looking for help, looking for cleaners, and they always fell through in some type of way. So instead of getting my hopes up and being let down, let's just focus on being a solo cleaner right now. That way you can still dictate, well, not dictate, but you can still navigate and you can get the business, you'll take care of the business without having to rely and depend on other people for your business because your reputation is what you have. And if you're known for showing up late, not doing a good job, or just things like that, that goes into your reputation, and people may not want to book you for your services because of your ill reputation.
Right. Oh, I like that. So everything has
Reputation.
to align. Do you have a mission statement? Are you working on that? Um,
For Robin's Helping Hand,
yeah. Yes.
oh, I do, but I'm not sure. It's a long
Oh,
It's
well, we'll put it in.
but
It's okay. We can
I can say the beginning of it is Robin's Helping Hand. Um, mission is to offer support for individuals and families facing serious illness or disability.
I like
awesome.
that. And you just, putting people on the board. Now, what is the board for? I'm curious to know. Is that something for a nonprofit that you have to have as like a board member? I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yes. Um, from my understanding, and Shannon, feel free to chime in, it's for governance,
mhm.
basically to make sure you are following protocol, procedure, laws, and everything because the
According,
nonprofit, accordingly to the law,
right,
because nonprofits are like the government. Like you want to follow the rules and follow the law and make sure everything is on the up. If not, you're gonna get in some trouble.
right. Well, and then it goes back to like kind of not doing it for the right reasons. You're saying you're a nonprofit, but you're really, yeah, I got you.
Hmm.
I understand now. Okay. I just wanted to make that clear with the audience too.
So, what kind of things are you doing to take care of yourself while you're doing all of this emotional work? I mean, we all know we've all done a charity cleaning here and there, and it's taxing emotionally. You're not doing more cleaning? Um, what are you doing to help yourself relax and decompress after you're doing some of these heavier cleanings?
Uh, honestly, I compartmentalize.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like, so I just take it in, and on one side, yes, I'm a little emotional because with Miss Lady, for example, the first home, she had a lot of resemblance of my mom as far as some other things that she shared with me. It was mirrored my mom a little bit. But on the other side, I just take it all in. I have this little mental box that I put it in, and I close it, and I don't think about it. That's the honest truth. Um, Physically, I do take 2 days off a week, Sundays and Thursdays. Sundays, I go to church and I spend more time with my family. And Thursdays, I like to call my self care day. I go to therapy. I've been in therapy for the last 5 years. Yeah, I think it was 5. I think I've been in therapy for 5 years. So I do go to therapy,
Good.
self care days, beauty care, my nails, spa treatments, things like that physically. But mentally, um, I shut it out. I probably need something better, a better way to do that. But I do compartmentalize. That's something that I just do. That's
Right.
something I've learned to do uh, since my mom became ill, even up to the day of her passing. I
Handle the
set
task.
it in this little
Yeah.
box.
You handle the
Yep, I have
task
to
at
handle the
hand.
task.
Mhm.
hmm I handle the task at hand, and then I go and process it later. But to my knowledge, from as much information as everyone shared with me, there has not been just a case where I've had to just let me step outside for a moment and get myself together because this is too much. Everyone is nice. There are a lot more women.
Mhm.
So
Of course.
I call them little sweet old ladies. There are a
Mm.
lot more women that I encounter. So they have a bit of optimism for themselves. So I would say for me, it's kind of hard to get in that emotional space with that because everyone deals with it with a smile on their face from what I see.
Mhm.
So I don't have a real way, or I haven't had a situation to where I had to go get myself together because this is overwhelming, this is too much, or this is reminding me of my mom, or this was something triggering to me.
Right.
And if I did see certain things, like she was on oxygen as well, if I do see an oxygen tank, it triggers a little bit, but not so much that I have to go step out and get
Where
myself
you can't
together.
handle emotionally,
Right.
especially in front
Right.
of if anything, I feel like it would be like, "Oh," you're like, "Oh," yeah,
Oh,
yes, yes,
yeah.
that, "Oh, oh,
I was asking because I am not good at compartmentalizing anything. I've blubbered
Yeah.
like on people's couches. Like I stopped going because we were part of cleaning for a reason when I had W-2s, and my
Mm,
very last house was a lady who had worked for the same employer for like 20 something years so she could move up to my area, and she
mm,
hated her job. And the biggest impact, and I've shared this story before, that she had out of the whole visit, because the cleaning tech was late, so I was trying to stall.
mm.
Like, so I guess we'll sit on the couch, right? And then,
Yeah.
it's so we sat and we chatted, and she told me how she had to give away her African gray, who she'd had since the hatchling. She was getting ready to get rid of the dog she had just adopted because she wanted to come up here and hike because I'm not too far from Sedona. She was telling me all of these transitional things. So at this point, like, I'm not good with this information because then I'm like starting to, like, my eyes are watering. I'm like fanning myself and
oh, no."
and finally,
Oh,
but the biggest thing was, don't wait to take action. I waited 20 years in a job that I absolutely hated, and I wish I had done it sooner because her life was cut short. She was terminal. She didn't have much longer to live. But it's just this interesting dynamic of what people do. But I spend a lot of time, as much as I can possibly imagine. Jamie knows I'm out, and she's like, "Where are you?" I'm out in the
Out
woods.
in the wilderness.
Just walking around. I'm just walking. So, I think it's great that you have a way of channeling what that energy is, because it does impact you, and it does add up after a while. And there's like little ways that we have to do things to kind of give ourselves self-care.
Well,
Um,
it sounds like you
and
also
then
go to therapy though too,
right,
so
therapy is, I think it's fantastic. You're one of the rare ones who
mhm.
thinks
Yeah,
that,
I'm
this is
stuck with it.
part of what life should be, because you have a lot of things that you have to deal with, especially the last 5 years with your mom and everything passing away. It's good that you have an opportunity to get that off of your chest, so to speak.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
So for the vision in the future of this, because we're gonna come back and circle back around in about 6 months or so. Where would you love to see both your business and your non for profit in the next few years?
So volunteer based. I would love to, even if I don't expand across the United States, I would like to expand within the Mid South. So Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi,
Alabama,
Alabama,
all those.
maybe Missouri, just that little area. I would love to see Robin's Helping Hand expand out, um, volunteer base with the business and with the company, with the organization as well. But I would love to see it expand to get the name out and for people to see that this is something that's beautiful, that's blooming in a time from a dark time, expand it. Not sure how that will work, but that will be something that I will be interested in seeing. Um, I also, in the middle of clean, I do some of my best thinking when I clean. I actually also, I do, like,
Yes.
I'll just like,
Love it.
I
wait, I have to,
It's our therapy almost, right?
I have to put that in. I have to write that down. So I would like to start in the future a life skills program. So foster children, individuals that were, for example, my mom, she had to learn how to do everything all over again. Start a program that teaches the basics of cleaning, washing dishes, doing laundry, folding clothes. Um, you'll be surprised. A lot of people don't know how to sweep and mop a floor. It's just something that we would think, well, that's common sense. No, a lot of people don't know
Right.
how.
Very
So
true.
the future of Robin's Helping Hand, I would like to add that as a program as well.
Oh, I love that. That's a
Awesome.
great idea. That's great.
I can't
So
a few
that
years.
is something that, yeah, in a couple of years from now, because I have to get the, I guess you would call it the compassionate cleaning program.
Mhm.
I guess that type of program that it is. Get that up off the ground and get that successfully going. And neat and tidy to scale it, grow it. I want to eventually to step back and put in a couple of helpers so they can do the day to day operations of neat and tidy, and I become, I guess, what you would call an admin.
Yeah.
Absentee ownership. Woo woo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
awesome.
goal.
Well, those are all the questions I have. Do you have any questions for us? I always like to ask the guests if they have any questions for us. We're happy to answer.
Oh, you say you've been in cleaning so how did you get your start for cleaning?
I
Cleaning business.
actually was a jewelry designer by trade. I had a store in my downtown location. I live not too far from Sedona, and it's 2007, 2008. And I was a silversmith by trade. I felt very privileged to have done it for as many years as I did. And I did not want to move from my area, and the economy was tanking because I love jewelry, but it's not a necessity. So I got hired on at the local Mary Maids here, and we got in a squabble over $2 a pay. And I was like, "Screw you! I can do this on my own." And that was like I've hit the ground running, and that's what I sold my first company, started a second company. I'm getting ready to start a third company. I have 5 businesses, so there's the coaching side and the digital asset side, and there's a publishing side. I have 8 books. So that's yeah, it's just I've been in the clean. I love the cleaning industry. My April
Same.
Fool's yesterday was I was quitting the
Got me so
industry,
good.
and
Got me
people
so
were
good.
like, "What?"
I was like, "Wait,
So
what?" I talk to them
why are
every
you
day. How
telling
do
me?
we
How
do
are
this?
you leaving?
So, yeah.
And some people actually didn't read it all the way
No.
and
They're
congratulated me on my new
congratulating you for going cleaning in space. I was
it
like,
was
"Wait,
funny.
what?"
That's funny.
But that's how
Wow.
I ended up in the cleaning industry. I did it because, I didn't want was that your dog or my dog?
It's
That's your dog.
mine. I'm trying to
So but that's how I ended up in the cleaning industry is, I started working at Mary Mae's. We got in a squabble over $2, and here I am 16 years later. And ironically, the Mary Maids that I work for is going out of business.
Oh, that just happened?
That just happened. Barbara I worked for, Jean and Bruce because Barbara owned it, and she was a
See,
Nazi.
I've heard this
I don't
story.
understand why she was. Then Jean and Bruce bought it, then they sold it to someone else, I don't remember their name. Then they sold it to the lady who lives in Scottsdale who had 5 Mary Maids, and she ran it into the ground. She's only had it, like, 6 years, but it's going out of
Wow.
business.
Wow.
So it's funny, the whole evolution of Shannon in 16 years. Pretty wild.
Jamie, what about you?
I was a janitor during COVID. I was a janitor at my son's school. So everybody was afraid of cooties. And
Yeah.
yeah, we had, so they wanted to see somebody on site there wiping down the window, the doors and the doorknobs and all the high touch places. Well, they didn't want to renew my contract for the next year because it was like, okay, you did your thing. And I was like, dang. So I had a job. I was also a part-time janitor as a W-2 employee at my church. And I was like, They would only give me 10 hours a week." And, I was like, there's gotta be something better." But I did have little ladies coming up to me, "Do you do houses?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." Like, at first, but I remember I sitting in my parking lot in the parking lot of the church after I was done, and I was just like, "Give me what am I supposed to I know I'm so much I'm to be so much more than what this is. This what I don't know what this is." And as I was praying, there was a van that drove by, and it was a cleaning company. And it was all ding, just like that. I was like, "Oh, that's it." And that's how and it's in the name, we're a Christian-ran company, above all cleaning services. Not only that, it started with an A, because I remember back in the day whenever, everything was alphabetical, so, um, and, very early on, I got connected with Shannon and was charging only $25 an hour. I didn't know anything. Was having friends come help me like, "Woohoo, let's go clean some houses," paying them cash. It's just, then I got introduced to Shannon, and, she's like, "You don't have to be like that," and I ended up hiring her as my coach and mentor. Uh,
Mm,
this was before we were still doing, like, in-person Zoom meetings, and that was so
mhm.
normal at that time because we were coming out of COVID.
COVID.
So, there was a lot of Zoom, like, all of my doctor's appointments were always on Zoom, so it wasn't nothing to it, and I just, grew scale, and this was in 2022. And, I just actually sent something over to Shannon, uh, a few minutes before this came on, and we have super surpassed our first quarter this year, record breaking. We're doing record breaking, things, and, yeah, that's how it all evolved, and, I've been able to buy my own house. I just ended up getting, I have an office now, I have employees. Good times. A little nerve-wracking, but it's a good time. I love it. I absolutely love the cleaning industry, and I love teaching people how to get to this point, and sharing my successes, my losses, my everything. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yes, you too. You too.
Thank
That's a
you.
lot. That's a lot, and that's a lot of I am literally writing down Robin's helping hands, because I think that is so great to, not single out somebody just with breast cancer, but and no shade to that industry or that group, but, to help all. To help all that are going through I think it's so beneficial, and, yeah, I love it. I love this
That's awesome.
industry. I don't think I'm going
Thank you.
anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No,
Yeah,
I'm here.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the 23rd trade. I think it's the first time in history that women are going to dominate a field entirely. And there's going to be millionaires and people who are doing 5 or 10 million in the next couple of years. We're starting to see more and more of it. It's exciting. And well, I know we have robots that are coming out in the next 3 years. So that's going to be an interesting take on if it's going to be successful or not. But yeah, it's gonna be I think we're in the right time frame of time itself to kind of be on the wave of what's happening with our industry.
Yeah, I do too. I'm so happy we're here. I really
Yeah,
do. I am so
me
happy
too.
we're all here.
Well, ladies, thank you so very much for your time, Miss Danelle. When this airs, I'll send you over a link. If you wanna share it to your webpage, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, any
Absolutely.
other questions? Let's see you in about 6 months. I'm very curious to see
Too.
what ends up happening here too.
I
Anyways, take care, you guys.
Bye, you
Alright.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.